Hello. Are you guys possibly struggling for contest number 5? Well, in today's video, I have 3 comps that you guys can use and you can easily beat this challenge and get your wins very easily and get those 20 angelic or demonic star drops easily. So, in today's video, I'll tell you what comps are the best to use in this mode. I'll explain the strategies for every comp. I'll tell you the best angelic and demonic power-ups that you can use for this mode, and much more. So, without wasting your time, let me go straight into the video. Also, by the way, I forgot to say this at the start, but I do have a pay-to-win comp and a free-to-play comp, so don't worry if you don't have all your brawlers maxed out. There is a lot of different comps you guys can use, and yeah. So, starting off, I just wanted to say that I did play this map before. This map was actually before in rotation, so I do kind of have a bit of experience with this map. And to start it off, let me start with the pay-to-win comp and later go to the free-to-play comp. So, starting off with comp number 1, we have Miko, Grom, and Surge. Now, this comp is just amazing, and with this comp on my main account, I got 5 wins fully. So, if you do guys have these brawlers maxed out, I would recommend to use this comp unless you guys are not comfortable playing with these brawlers, or you like the other comps more, or the other comps sound a bit better to you. But other than that, you should be using this comp. So, starting off, we have Surge. Now, why did I put Surge in that comp? Well, it's really simple. Surge is just so good to deal against tanks, and for some reason, there's a lot of people playing tanks on that map. I'm guessing it's because of the 2 unbreakable walls on that map, and that basically allows the tanks to have a lot of hiding space. So that's why you should go Surge, as his super can just jump through walls, or jump over walls, sorry. So his super can basically jump over walls, and that will allow Surge to just have so much area control of the map and allow your team to just have area control of a side. So the best angelic and demonic power up for Surge is any of the speed ones. So for the demonic side is the one that basically if he takes damage or deals damage, he's going to be faster. Now for the angel side, it's basically the more angel teammates you have, the more faster you are, or the more quicker you are. So you want to go either those power ups, and if you don't have those, then maybe go any other power ups, because that's the main power up you kind of want to go for Surge, because you want him to be fast at the start of the match, which can be a little bit of a problem, but because there's so much tanks, he can get that stage 1 really fast. Alright, next let's go to Grom. Now Grom is going to be your damage dealer, and what I mean by this is he's going to be dealing damage to the safe. He is just so good for this mode. Grom is actually, I would even say, the best brawler for this mode, as he can deal so much damage to the safe because of his gadget and that star power that he has. And basically, what Grom can do is he can stand outside of the area of the siege and just shoot his shots without getting hit from the siege, which is really incredibly strong, and he does so much damage. I think if you gadget like 3 times or 4 times and just shoot a little bit, it basically finishes off the siege. So yeah, that's why you should go Grom. Now, the best angelic power-up for Grom is the shield one, which basically, when you're about to die, you get a shield, which basically puts you at 1 HP. But the thing that makes this ability so good is it allows Grom to have an extra shot. Now, if you can time it, you can actually get another shot on the safe or the siege, which is really powerful. Now, on the demonic side, I would suggest going fire, as I know there are some people trying to go like mortises or tanks, and they will try to just target your thrower. So having that fire power up can actually be super helpful, as when they are chasing you, they're going to get damaged and they'll basically have to back off and heal off. Which by the time they're healing, you can also damage them and easily get your super. And then you can protect yourself with the super, which is amazing. Now, another thing I wanted to say, so I don't have to repeat myself, is that there are 2 unbreakable walls. So throwers for this map are excellent, as they can hide behind the walls and just shoot, which is really good. And then when everyone dies, they can go ahead and pressure the siege. Oh boy, now where do I go with Miko? Miko is so OP for this mode. He's actually so good. He is as good as Grom. I think Miko is a bit underrated for this mode, as I don't see that much people playing him when I'm playing this contest, which is pretty weird as he's so broken, and I'll explain why. So, starting off, he can deal up to 50% of damage to the safe. Well, I'd say it's about like 47%, but that is so strong and overpowered. Basically, all you need is his specific star power, which does double damage to anything that's not brawler related, and that just makes him so broken for this mode. So, what I'm trying to say is that star power that he has, that basically no one uses other than this mode, is so powerful and good. It is just so broken and makes Miko so OP here. Now, if you basically get to supers and you dash to the heist and do like 2 more attacks, that's basically game over. That gives you the win. And as you can see, if you pair this with Grom, this just makes this comp so powerful. Also, there are a lot of walls for this map, so this gives a lot of chances for Miko to charge up a super. Now, another thing that makes Miko so good for this mode is how easily he can defend those things that spawn. Basically, when those demon or angel things spawn, Miko can easily defend it because, as the star power says, he deals double the amount of damage to non-brawler or non-brawler units basically. So, he can easily destroy those things. So you can also use him as a defender. So he can be an attacker and a defender. Basically, he's just so powerful in this mode. Now, for the angelic power-ups, you can basically go any on Miko. But for the demonic power-ups, I will suggest using the explosion one, as you can do extra damage to the safe when you die on the safe. So that makes that power-up or demonic power-up really good on Miko. And yeah, with that, let's go into comp number 2. Now, I kind of wanted to make something that is both free to play and kind of pay to win, so I came up with this. Now, this comp is actually really easy to explain, so if you're playing with random people and you want to explain the comp really easily, unlike comp number 1 which has a lot of explanation, this comp is much easier to explain and much easier to play. So, starting off, we have BB. Now, what is BB task exactly? Well, it's basically to play defensive and kill any throwers you see that try to go on your safe, and that is basically BB's task. It's basically to just play defensive and protect the berry, and that's pretty easy to do. Also, if you do get BB's bubblegum, you kind of want to go in a direction where you can throw it, where it bounces a lot of times on the safe, and yeah, that's basically how you play BB. And the best angelic and demonic power-ups for BB is any of the speed ones, so basically the ones I told you for Surge. Alright, so next up we have Colette. Now Colette's job is kind of like Surge's. It's basically to just deal with tanks and target tanks. So, if you see tanks spawning on the right side and you spawn on the left side, you want to change or swap lanes with your teammates to where the tank is, so you can deal with the tanks and it doesn't cause trouble for your teammates, and then BB can just easily finish them off. Now, the problem with playing Colette on this map is there are a lot of walls, so tanks can hide behind them, so you're going to have to play Colette very patiently, and if someone has Surge powered up, I would probably suggest them to go Surge instead of Colette. But before you decide that, there's actually a difference between Surge and Colette. Now, Surge can deal with tanks a bit easier because there's so much walls here, but Colette actually has her hypercharge, which can do a lot of damage to the heist. Unlike Surge, he can't really do that much DPS to the heist, unlike Colette, because she has her hypercharge. So basically, choose wisely on who you think is going to be better. And the best angelic and demonic power-ups to go for Colette is basically for the angelic side, it's the shield one, which basically when you damage someone, it gives you shield. And for the demonic side, it's the healing one. Basically, if you damage someone, it heals you 500 health. And yeah, now we have Barry. Now, Barry's a bit different than Grom because Grom can actually shoot without getting damaged from the heist. But Barry cannot. I think he has to go to the heist. But the thing that makes Barry so good and a good replacement for Grom is his gadget. Now, whoever's playing Barry wants to use the gadget, which lasts longer. I think it's like 12 seconds. And if you use that gadget, it's going to deal so much damage to the safe. Now, I didn't really explain the gadget that well. Basically, his normal attack lasts for like 6 seconds and that gadget doubles it. So I think it lasts for 12 seconds, which is really OP for this mode. Now, the best angelic power-up for Barry, I'd probably say the speed one. So you can catch up to the safe and just shoot your gadget. But for the demonic side, you can basically go any of them. But I will suggest fire, as I basically explained for Grom. you can deal damage if any tanks are chasing you. So we're done with comp number 2, so let's go into the free-to-play comp, which is comp number 3. Now, I tried to make this comp as free-to-play friendly as I could, so basically for this comp, we have Coulter Brock, Dynamite, and Edgar. Now, Coulter Brock's job will basically be shooting the safe without getting damaged, because if you stand really close to the safe, and it basically will not damage you, but you can still attack it without getting damaged by the safe, which makes Brock and Colt so good. Now, if you're gonna use Colt, then I would suggest a power-up on the angelic side, which is the shield one. It's really good with Colt, and if you pair it with Colt, it makes him really good. Now, for Brock, you can basically go any of the power-ups that exist, but I would suggest something like a speed one or the immunity. Now, Dynamite's job will be pretty easy. It's basically to just play defensive and also to play the attacker. But for this comp, you will have to play a bit regular. You basically want Brock and Colt to deal damage to the safe. And you want the thrower to kind of be defending. And also you want Dynamite to be using his stun gadget on the safe, or just on people that try to get the bolts. So basically you want to get the bolts, or whatever the stuff is called, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to call them bolts. So you want to collect as much bolts as possible and play normally. And because we're playing normally, this is why we have Edgar on this comp. Now, Edgar's job will basically to be stopping people that try to rush your safe. So basically any throwers that try to rush your safe, or any Colts or Brocks that try to rush your safe, or any Mikos, and you basically just want to stop them and collect as much bolts as possible. So yeah, that is basically Edgar's job for this mode. Now, as for power-ups, for Dynamite, you probably want to go the fire one, and for the angelic one, it's any. Now for Edgar, for the angelic one, you either want to go speed or immunity, and for the demonic one, you probably want to go fire or the exploding one. And yeah, that comes to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Now, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing, as it does help me out a lot and it helps my channel grow. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a nice day. Goodbye.